Welcome to the Woolly Thistle in West Lebanon, New Hampshire. They specialize in yarns made in Europe, and we're going to get to tour their storefront, which just opened 6 months ago. And we're going to get to see the warehouse in the back. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Corinne and I own the Woolly Thistle.
And we're going to take a tour. So why don't we start over here? Because I know you have your own yarn.
Yes. Last year we launched Rambler, which is our own special yarn. It's a sock yarn primarily.
Oh.
And it is 100% wool, made from Dorset, Corriedale, and Romney. And we chose those three because of the qualities of each of those breeds. So the Dorset wool is really strong and it doesn't felt much, which is really good when you're wearing them as socks and boots or shoes. The Corriedale has a really nice crimp and is soft. And then the Romney gives it this little touch of grey.
Yeah.
And everything takes dye really well. So this is what we went with. It's locally sourced in New York and it's spun by Mary Jean of Battenkill Fibres.
That's so cool.
And it's doing great. And we've actually found that you can make other things with it too. So it's not just for socks, but that was the intention when we made it. It's got 3 plies. It's really high twist. And so far I've not been able to bust holes.
That's
and
awesome.
I wear them all the time, all my socks from this. Yeah.
Is this the natural color? And
this is the
this
natural.
Is what gets dyed?
Yep. So this is the base that turns into these colors. So yeah, it's been doing really well. We're really, really proud of it. And it's called Rambler because it's to invoke the walkers of Scotland, you know, who hopefully would be wearing Rambler socks. So that, you know, when they're out hoofing around the fields and climbing over stiles and over rock walls and stuff, they're rambling. So that's it.
I love that.
Next door, we have Tukku wool, which is from Finland. And this yarn is made from Finn sheep, which is Finland's, you know, natural habitat sheep.
Oh.
And I would think that this is probably a good yarn for somebody who is curious about knitting with more woolly wool. And you know, because there is softness to it, but I think there's also a bit of tooth. Most of our stuff is non-superwash, and so it's just got a really nice feel to it. You know, I think knitting with merino and superwash is really great. I love the indie dyed stuff. I've got plenty of it myself. But at some point, you might want to start feeling the differences between the different breeds and textures, and also where it comes from makes a huge difference, and what they've eaten. You know, are they seaweed growing sheep or seaweed eating sheep, or are they, you know, inland? Are they growing up in Spain where it's really warm, or are they in Norway where it's freezing? And all of that makes a difference to the product at the end.
Interesting. That makes sense, but I've never thought of that.
That's what we do here. That's all we think about is where did that sheep grow up, and what kind of wool does it produce? And so we've got breed specific like Tukku wool, which is Finn, but then we have blends as well. And yeah, we just love it. And so we go from quite soft to quite rustic throughout. Scottish Yarn Festival is a phenomenal yarn. It's made with Shetland wool and Cheviot, which are 2 Scottish breeds. And this comes from Scotland, from our friend Eva, who hosts and manages and runs and invented the Scottish Yarn Festival in Perth in Scotland. And so she has since started this line of yarn, and we're thrilled to have it. We really love it.
That's beautiful.
It comes in 4-ply and DK.
Lovely.
Devonia and Appledore, as well as Exmoor sock, which it looks like we're out of. Nope, it's right here. This is from John Arbon, which is a mill in Devon in England. So they make all of these, and their stuff is soft. They make it is. Yeah, they make it with a lot of British wools that are spun together into top, and then they're a worsted spun mill, so their stuff is really smooth and drapey and really silky feeling, which is just gorgeous.
But still 100% wool.
100% wool. Yeah, mostly.
That's cool.
they have a tiny bit, I think, of superwash in their sock yarns, and that's where I'm not such a purist. I feel like I'm okay with superwash in my sock yarns.
Yes.
And then making tracks is a great one too. This is nice and soft as well.
Yeah.
This is from Junction Fibre Mill, which is right across the water in Vermont.
Super close.
Great friends and neighbours, and we love stocking them. They've just come out with this sport weight.
Oh, cool.
And this is their DK.
Love that.
Yeah, it's really nice, isn't it? Yeah, so then we've got Mountain Meadow, who I know you know.
Yes, we love them.
I think this is a great yarn for someone who's crossing into more woolly wool. This is a merino, but it's so pebbly the way they've made it. It's got texture in it, which I think adds interest to the experience of knitting with it.
I think, as I hit everything, I think this was this color, but definitely this yarn was my first non-superwash sweater, and I wear it every day.
And you like it?
I love it.
Natural wool is just something that is amazing, and I just want everyone to know all the benefits to it, which I won't go into now, but there's plenty of them, including that you don't need to throw it in a washing machine. That's probably the biggest one.
That's why I wanted to make myself a hoodie, because I was wearing a hoodie all the time, and we can't do laundry as often as we want to on the road. And I'm like, I can actually wear this for like a month and it's still going to be
even longer, honestly. And you can hang it out
longer. I'm like, it definitely needs to be washed at this point.
But it's antimicrobial, so
True.
You hang it out in the sun and it's going to clean itself, or you can lay it out in the snow in winter and let the sun beat on it and that cleans it, or you throw it in the bath with some warm water and a little tiny bit of dish soap.
Yeah.
Don't make suds, just put the dish soap in, put it in, all that dirt will lift off, and then you just let it dry flat. It's so much easier than having to put stuff in the washing machine.
I agree.
Yeah,
I love it.
And then we've got Peace Fleece, which is an American grown yarn, which is just, again, very soft, and it's very thick, at least very to me. I think it's a heavy worsted weight.
And some flecks of colors.
And beautiful
really
heathering, really, really gorgeous.
Love that.
Yeah. And then I think this is probably some of our bread and butter yarn, which is Rama Finno garn. I love knitting with this. This is what I designed my vanilla sweater in. Which a lot of people have knit now, which is just really fun.
Oh, that's cool. So your vanilla sweater, is it just all one color?
It's just one color, yeah. And it's just a very easy raglan sweater in this yarn, which is a fingering sport weight. So it's a lot of stitches, but a lot of people have knit it for their first sweater.
That's awesome.
Because it's very forgiving. You don't have to be exact in your sizing, and it's a layering piece. And up here we've got Frangipani, which is a Guernsey yarn, which is for the old sailor. So if you feel this one, this has got 5 plies in it, and it's quite tightly spun.
5 plies.
5 plies, and it's quite thin, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what people would do with this is knit Guernsey sweaters, and historically Guernsey sweaters were the fishermen, and they would have different motifs saying what family they belonged to, so that if they were lost at sea, they could be identified by their sweater.
Oh my gosh.
I know, isn't that sad?
Yes.
But also they would have gussets under their arms because they were always reaching over and they didn't want their sweater pulling up the back. So they had extra space under the arms. So lots of very thoughtful details go into Guernsey. And I had a lovely man here just last week or this week who was buying Guernsey wool to knit himself a Guernsey. Let's see, right behind you, Ken, is Jamieson and Smith, which is probably our best-selling yarn. It comes in 100 colors.
Do you have all of them?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I feel like there's a lot of colors here.
We do. And these come in 25-gram balls because you use them a lot for color work and you might not need huge amounts, although we sell them on cones too. And you get I think it's 20 or 40 balls, I can't remember, on a cone. So that's really economical.
Would that be like a background color sort of situation?
Exactly. You could do a color work yoke with the balls and then just knit down from your cone.
Cool.
Yeah. And then we've got more Jamieson Smith down here. They're different lines. Here's a cone right here.
Oh yeah. I'm also seeing lots of color work hats around here, which could be a really good way to intro into color work and feeling out the yarns.
Exactly. A nice smaller project. Yeah. A hat or little fingerless mitts or something like that. And then Lopi from Iceland is hugely popular. We sell a lot of this. This does feel more rustic to the uninitiated.
Definitely.
But and it's true with all of them, knitting them is a different experience than wearing them. They do soften up the more you wear them. They get better and better and better. And we also have unspun wool in Lopi here. They're all in bags, it looks like. But this is Mancha Lopis, which is from Spain.
So light.
I know.
This is soft.
Mm-hmm. It is. And when you knit it, it becomes very strong. It's very light and it's super warm. So it's a great piece. But people freak out with this because it's not spun.
It looks so delicate.
Yeah, but it's really, if you break it, you just put it back together and keep knitting. We have beautiful little mitten kits from Latvia.
Oh, is this one of the
samples?
samples?
Yeah, it's one of them. I don't see the box here.
Oh, nice.
But aren't they beautiful?
Yes.
So that's something to aspire to maybe. If you're brand new to color work, I wouldn't necessarily start with that, but something like that. And then we've got Bichet Bouche here, which is from France. And they have their beautiful mohair and their Le Petit. There you go, which is made with Scottish lamb's wool, funnily enough, but they're a French company.
Very nice.
It's really nice. I love it. And then we've got Brusca here from Retrosaria, which is in Portugal. Yeah, and they've got the best labels.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So that's very popular. Their sock yarn Mondim there is really fun. It's self-striping and modeled and fun. Yeah.
Very cool.
100% wool again, though. And really strong. More Rama down there. And then we've got Wool Dreamers down here, which is from Spain. And they have several different lines. They've got one that's a cotton and wool blend. And this is really popular. It feels nice.
Yeah.
Having the wool in with the cotton makes it easier on your hands to knit.
Definitely.
I think knitting with pure cotton can be sore on your hands.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then here we've got Jamieson's, which is not to be confused with Jamieson's and Smith, but they're both Shetland and they have the same name.
Are these different companies?
They're different companies.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, they're completely different and they're both on Shetland and they seem to cohabit just fine.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, they both produce 25-gram balls of beautiful Shetland wool for knitting color work and whatever you want, really. So, in fact, that's what this is knitted in.
So what is this pattern called?
This is the Seaweed Slipover by Wilma Malcolmson.
Does it have sleeves or is it?
No, it's just a vest.
It's a vest.
Yeah, I love a good vest. Yeah. So Wilma Malcolmson was the patron of the Shetland Wool Week, which is a massive thing in our circles. A few years back, and this was her design. So,
it's beautiful. I love that. I really didn't know those are different. I'm so glad you told me that.
There is. And then, I think maybe some of your viewers might be new to what we have here. And so we have put together a box that might be of interest to people.
Yeah.
It comes with a Woolly Thistle tote and stickers.
Cute.
And then inside, now there's a thistle.
Oh, perfect. That'll be good to show when we talk about it.
And then we've put a couple of balls of Rama, a couple of balls of Let Lopi, and then Jamieson and Smith. So 3 different yarns to sample. This is our wool exploration sampler that we sell in the shop. There's a little Woolly Thistle stitch marker. There's some wool wash to put in your bath. And some lovely Tuft hand cream as well.
Yes.
So it's a nice little package to get someone started or, gift to someone. So these are our tote bags. They're made for the Woolly Thistle by Studio Tolsta. Studio Tolsta is from the Hebridean Islands in Scotland, and Katrina is from Scotland, just like me. And so she's married to an Indian gentleman, so they have their business out in India. She goes back and forth.
Wow.
But what's special about these is the wool on there is Harris tweed, which is a government protected process. These are hand woven.
Like how this fabric is made? They're hand woven?
They're hand woven.
Wow.
Usually in people's sheds, they're weaving sheds on the island of Harris, where Katrina's from. And so that label there is a authority label. You can only have that on when it's from the Hebrides.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So these are our tote bags. They're really nice. They're
like a
beautifully
giant
made.
Pocket.
Yeah, giant pocket front and back.
Wow.
And then inside some more.
Coming up next, we're going into the warehouse for a tour. And later, we'll get to sit down with Corinne for an interview.
Hi, I'm Jill, and I'm the customer success representative at the Woolly Thistle. So if you send an email to info@thewoollythistle.com, it comes to me first.
That's awesome. Well, we have something exciting we're going to do, and we're going to get to take a tour in the back.
Yes.
Where I know you have a fulfillment center, all the shipping, all of the yarn that's not out here.
Yes.
So can you take us around?
So yeah, I'm sure Kareen probably told you we've been an online retailer for 8 years, but we've only been in person since the summer.
Right.
So yeah, so everything back there has been going on for years and years. So
let's go see.
So come on back. So this is our actual office area. There's Kareen. There's Maggie that people see on the Shopcast. Seth is our marketing person.
Awesome.
The other Seth is inventory management.
Hello.
And April is in charge of all the shipping and order fulfillment.
Hi.
And back here is where we start our work.
Awesome.
So we have order packers here. We have all of the books that we sell are all on our bookshelves.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, you can see we've got a large assortment of books. And then over here are all the notions and bits and bobs. And so needles, stitch markers, the Norwegian buttons that we carry. So I don't know, did Kareen talk about this at all?
No, we didn't see any buttons.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
So yeah, so we have pewter buttons from Norway.
Whoa.
So yeah, so all of these are all different button assortments.
That is so cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll head on back to the back where all of the fun stuff is.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, this is the yarn warehouse. It's you can see stacked full.
This is awesome.
So yeah, one of the things back here that happens, we have yarn sets.
Oh, okay.
So for designers, for most designers, we're not able to sell the pattern through us. We send people to Ravelry for it. But then we've put together all of the yarn to go for particular, like sweaters, hats, different things like that. So there's typically the designer original, and then we'll pick out some other choices that go well. And then, customers can place their order for whatever the pattern is or for whatever the project is. And then our pickers and packers come back here and they say, okay, so we have an order for the Farney sweater, which is a Marie Wallen. And, they're getting a size 1, which has all of this yarn in it.
Nice.
So they have 18 balls of yarn. It comes with a stitch marker and the Woolly Thistle tote.
Oh,
so that's how,
nice.
So our, pickers are looking at all these different, so that the kits are put together custom for each customer.
For each size too.
So
it's all the math is already done for you. You don't have to think about how many skates you need. That's awesome.
Yeah. So like our vanilla sweater, the vanilla fluff that I know you talked about out front. This one, if they get size 1, it's 4 balls of this, it's 3 balls of this, and this is the color of the yarn they got. This is the color of the mohair they got, and these are all the things. So that way, we try to be as error free as possible.
Definitely.
So yeah,
super cool.
So those are kits. This whole wall is Jamieson and Smith. So I know you saw the JNS wall out there.
Yes.
Jamieson and Smith 2-ply jumper weight comes in 102 colors.
Wow.
And we stock all 102. In fact, they were filling up everything yesterday, just restocking them all. And like, we have 101 colors. So we're out of one right now.
Oh gosh, and you got to figure out which one.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one we're out of. But so you can see there's in each one of the bins, there's multiple colors. And
that's awesome.
So yeah.
Well, it's great, like, because, when you have this much space back here, you can carry a lot of yarn. So if somebody needs like a sweater's quantity, you're like, well, might probably have it back here.
Well, in addition to that, if you see like these little numbers on the side, that tells you there's back stock. And bin number, number 9, there's, so yeah. So we'll just go take a look and see what we've got. Okay, so this color 123, which is this one, is back overstock is in bin 7.
Cool. Hey, that's smart.
So go over to bin 7. And oh, look, there's
so much of it.
Yeah, there's that many more just waiting.
Cool. This is a clever little system.
Yeah, that was our Seth, the second Seth.
Yeah.
In a company with 6 full-time employees, 2 of them are named Seth. So
That's so funny.
So this is all the J&S wool. We might have talked about blankets.
No, we haven't seen these yet.
Okay, so these are our Studio Donegal blankets.
Wow.
They are custom woven for us in Ireland.
Oh, cool.
So they come in all these colors you can see.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, so I'll unfold them so you can see it.
Yeah. Can help you hold it so it doesn't
Yeah.
hit the floor. Oh, just kidding. There we go.
Okay. So these are custom woven for us.
This is beautiful.
There are
Here.
I'll let you have it. You can just lay it off to the side. We
This
can
is,
restock
I
it.
really like this one.
That one is a new one for this year.
Oh.
That one is new. And I think Mediterranean Sea is new.
That's pretty.
But yeah, so, and then we have a couple more that are on the way. They were able to ship us some, and then the rest of the shipment will be coming, I think, in another week or so.
So you said you just get these a couple times a year.
Yes.
And then they probably all sell.
They sell out,
Wow.
within, generally by Christmas time, they're gone.
Yeah. They'd be a great gift.
Yes.
A little special
Yeah.
treat. Wow.
I
These
have
are cool.
I have 2 of them at my house now. So
Are they just super warm?
they're super warm. I have one on my bed.
Yeah.
So these New England winters in a 1850s farmhouse. It's
That's
nice to have some
cool.
extra warmth. So this last aisle is our regular mainline yarns, but then we have some really special things back in the corner here.
Ooh.
All of our Daughter of a Sheperd yarn is in here.
Oh, tell us about this.
So Daughter of a Sheperd, it's called Daughter of a Sheperd because she's the daughter of a shepherd.
Oh.
So like very close with the sheep. So I wish we had smell-o-vision, because
Can I see?
you can, not only you gotta smell.
It smells like like you're there.
It smells like the sheep, but like the good parts of the sheep.
Yes. Like
Yes.
fresh kind of hay and like being on a farm, but not like the gross parts.
Exactly. So we half jokingly refer to this as the emotional support corner of the warehouse.
Oh.
So you're having a not so great day, and so you're like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. So
I love that.
the Daughter of Sheperd Drover yarn comes in 6 colors, ranging from the darkest dark to the lightest light. And I think the lightest light we're out of stock on. But the in between colors are mixes of these.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, but
That's amazing. And where are they located?
Daughter of a Sheperd is in the UK.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
This was in here.
Yep, it was right in there.
There we go.
So, and a lot of these we get a couple times a year.
Mhm.
Like, that's the thing, is a lot of our yarn is very, they're small batches. So, we might get her entire clip for the year. So,
Wow.
the flock is sheared, it's all processed, we get all of it.
Yeah.
So
Wow. So I would love to know about the history of the Woolly Thistle, because you have an interesting, more unique start. Not just a yarn store foundation.
Right,
So can
right.
you tell me a little bit about
I would
that?
love to. I always enjoy talking about the Woolly Thistle. So back in 2014, I started a podcast on iTunes, and it was called New Hampshire Knits. And I was putting out a little podcast every other week because my husband was sick and tired of hearing about my knitting, which I was fanatical about. And I needed to find my people. And I did. And people started listening, and that was growing. And that was fine. That's what I was very happy doing. But then my sister got married in 2016 back home in Scotland. And so I went home for the wedding. And at the same time, there was the Edinburgh Yarn Festival. So I went to that. And, seeing all the yarns from Britain and, from home, I was like buying up everything that I could. And I sort of had a light bulb moment of, you know what, my friends in my knitting group and stuff would really love this stuff too. And so shortly after that, I got to work, and I spoke to 3 different vendors that I had met. And they said, sure, we'll work with you. And so I brought yarn over and it disappeared really fast. And then I thought, okay, so I actually started on Etsy for about a month where I had an Etsy shop, but I quickly moved over to Shopify and have been online until this year. Well, we're still online, but have been solely online until this year. Yeah.
That's amazing. I actually remember, I don't know what year it was, but I remember hearing an advertisement on an audio podcast as I'm driving to work for the Woolly Thistle.
Wow.
It was something about like, get your yarns from, it was very cute. It was like, get your yarns from, that you can't get here in the U.S.
That's right. Let us do the international shipping.
Exactly.
So you don't have to.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was one of our catchphrases way back when.
That's amazing. So you said that this is the first year now that you have your brick and mortar.
Yeah. So we opened in July of 2024 and the space we're sitting in basically looked like a dentist's waiting room before.
Was it a dentist's office?
It was not. We're in a light industrial area, but that's the vibe, that it had horrible carpet and, one of those slidey windows, and it was doing nothing. We were doing nothing with this space. And we've been asked so many times, why don't you open a proper shop? Mm-hmm. And so finally things came together. We had the space and we decided to go for it. And it's been really, really wonderful getting to meet people in person. We've had people from all over the US visit, some people from Europe as well. So when they're in the neighborhood, they're coming to visit, which is really great. Plus, we're getting to meet a lot of our local knitters too.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, it's been really wonderful. Yeah.
So what kinds of community stuff do you have planned?
Well, at time of recording this, we're quite new at it, but we have you here and we've had Sarah of Fiber Trek. She's another podcaster. We've got Gudrun Johnston coming. But I think as we move into the new year, we will have more set up. We're actually looking for someone to be our retail and event coordinator. Wow. If anybody's out there and we haven't found someone, let us know. Nice. Because we really want someone who can take this and make it a really vibrant, that would be their full-time focus, to sort of build this up and make it really welcoming and have things going on that would interest knitters.
That's so exciting. So how can people kind of keep up with what's happening here? Maybe if they're, local and they want to see what you come up with. Yeah. But then also just for people who aren't in New Hampshire.
I mean, our newsletter is probably our biggest way or, fastest way to find out what's going on. So you can just sign up for that at thewoollythistle.com. We spell woolly with 2 L's.
I was just going to ask that. Yeah. So, okay, I feel like woolly is one of those words that like it's correct with 1 L or 2 L's. So what was the move for you to make it 2?
It's the Scottish spelling.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, because the Woolly Thistle is a cute story. Growing up in Scotland, there was always thistles everywhere because that's our national flower.
Okay, what's a thistle? I honestly thought it was like a thorn.
It's kind of thorny. It's very prickly, the prickly thistle, but it's got a purple top. And it's got very sharp thorns on it. And they just grow wild in Scotland. And so it's their national flower. But growing up, I would often see tufts of wool caught in the thistle because there's sheep everywhere too. So when I was trying to think of a name for this, I could not escape the idea of the Woolly Thistle because that's just very, from home.
I love that. That is so cool. I want to know more about your podcast. How long have you been doing that?
Okay, so the audio podcast was for, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years. I kept it going while the shop opened up, but then we changed over to YouTube because it's just easy to show all the new yarn and everything. So we've been doing our shopcast for, I don't even know, maybe 5 years. I don't even know. Maybe it's less than that, but a good long while. And Maggie co-hosts it with me, and we get a lot of lovely feedback that they like our interaction, that we're kind of silly sometimes. But also we're just really sincere about what we love. And this is it. We love knitting with these yarns. And I think that comes through. And we have wonderful contributors every episode too. So we have Rachel, who actually lives on Fair Isle, which is in Shetland. She's a crofter, and she sends us a video postcard every month. Oh, cool. And we have Caitlin and Kelsey, who are both staff members, but they are remote and they send in their monthly. We have Knitting for Yoga with Kim every month. And so all of these, and there's more. Renee is a new one too. And I'm sorry if I'm forgetting anyone, but we have a lot of people who contribute. So it's more like a variety show with Maggie and I just sort of talking about our knitting and what's new. And then let's go visit with some other people.
That is so fun.
Yeah, it's really nice. nice.
And you get to see like new things that you're bringing
Yeah.
in, and
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, what's something that you're excited about coming up in the next year?
I think it's really the storefront. I mean, we have only scratched the surface so far. And I think having people come in and just enjoy what we have on offer. And also, I think our yarn is different from your average yarn store. And I think hopefully helping guide people down this very woolly and wonderful path is just so exciting. I mean, that always excites me, that people are discovering woollier wools and getting into, you know, the journey through their hands. I love that. I'm also really excited that I'm going home to Scotland at the end of May with Battenkill Fibres.
Oh, they're a mill, right?
Yeah, they're a mill in New York State. And
Oh
they
my
actually make our
gosh.
Rambler yarn. So we've got to know Mary Jean quite well. And she also has this travel business where she takes people on trips. And so she reached out and I was like, yeah, I'd love that. So I'm going to be going as the Scot on the trip. And yeah, we're putting that together now. So that's something to really look forward to next year or this year.
Yeah, that sounds so fun.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Well, thank you so much for having us here today.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming all this way. We're really glad that you're here.